Now, from what he informed us, he was involved in an accident. It was circumstances were like kind of a hit and run. Since then, he's been unemployed. This happened over about a year ago, so he's been unemployed. He's been in and out of hospitals getting treatment, going through rehabilitation. He's in the process now of actually applying for disability. So therefore, there's no sort of financial income coming in, no money, no property jump. As you heard, unfortunately, he lost his place to live. Therefore, a $5,000 bond, which the state is recommending, is something that's unattainable for Mr. Arrested. So I'd ask you to take into consideration his financial circumstances in setting a bond today.
Okay. Well, based upon, yes?
I just wanted to advise the court. Mr. Reese does apparently know some people because, as I mentioned in a previous capias, 9 days ago he bonded out through a bond agent on a $500 bond. So even if he doesn't have the resources, apparently he knows people that do.
Okay. At this point in time, after reviewing the nature and the circumstances of the offense that's charged and his previous convictions and the previous capiases that he has, the court is going to increase the bond to $5,000. All right. Good luck, Mr. Esed.
Just ask.
Thank you.
Chris Bobby Costello. Okay. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Costello. Okay. I'm Mr. Costello. You're here on a domestic violence battery charge and criminal mischief. The court does.
Me and my dad was arguing. I punched his windshield on my brother's windshield, and they got mad at me. And cops came and arrested me, but they didn't have no charges.
Okay. Well, you were arrested on a domestic violence battery charge and criminal mischief. The court does find probable cause. I am setting bond on the battery charge in the amount of $5,000, and I'm ordering no contact with the alleged victim. And the alleged victim is your dad?
Yeah, my dad never put no what's it called? He never had no restriction order or nothing on me. He didn't even want me to get arrested. The cop just arrested me.
Okay.
I wasn't even supposed to be arrested. And I have no job. I have no money at all to buy me out. And I have 2 babies with them, and I have to get back to my kids.
Okay. Do you live in the same house as your dad?
Yes, I live with my dad and my mom and my kids in there with my brother. We're all together in the house.
Okay.
Nobody wanted to press charges. It's just that that police officer, she was too mad or something.
Okay, I don't see any of that information here, and I don't have your dad here to tell me anything different. So I have to take what I see in the police report. I am ordering no contact with your dad until further order of the court. You're going to have to find another place to stay until you have a court tell you otherwise. Good luck. That's it, Mr. Costello. Calvin Constantine Higgins.
He's in North Broward, Your Honor.
Thank you. Hi, Mr. Higgins. Good. Mr. Higgins, you're here on a criminal mischief, burglary of an occupied dwelling, resisting without violence, domestic violence battery, and grand theft charges. The court does find probable cause. I am setting bonds in the domestic violence battery in the amount of $5,000. So the total bond that you have is $8,500, and the court is ordering no contact with the alleged victim in this case.
Your Honor, Mr. Higgins advised me that he's been living here in South Florida for 15 years. He also informed me that his grandmother has posted the bond on counts 2 and count 5 already. He believes she could make a $1,000 bond on the domestic violence charge to get him released, and I would ask that the court consider setting bond on count 4 at $1,000.
Okay, thank you. State.
I just think that in addition, more evidence or more allegations of violence is an aggravating factor, not a mitigating factor.
Okay. Based upon what I've read in the arrest reports, The court is going to leave bond set at $5,000 on the domestic violence battery. And you're to have no contact with the alleged victim in this case, who's Ashley Nicole Fordyce.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck. Clint Augustin?
Your Honor, so it's just $5,000?
I was told that somebody has posted bond on the other two charges, so this is $5,000.
Okay, so
That's
I
what
gotta
you-
get somebody to bond me out on this one?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Good luck. Clint Augustin?
Mr. Augustine, to your presence for the meeting.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Augustin.
How you doing?
Good. You're here on a domestic violence battery charge, and you have 2 violation of probation warrants. The court does find probable cause. I'm setting bonds in the amount of $5,000 on the battery charge and ordering no contact with the alleged victim, whose name is Amber Lee Canellis. You have a no bond hold on the probation violations, but you are going to court on June 5th to address those.
Judge, he just wants to know who's the judge that he's going to be appearing before on June 5th?
It's Division FX. Who is that? Judge Backman.
Thank you very much, Judge.
You're welcome. Frank Robert Braddock. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Braddock. Mr. Braddock, you're here on a tampering. Let's see here. Tampering in a proceeding. I need to have the probable cause affidavit. I don't have it in this case.
Your Honor, again,
I see
This
the
is-
case was reset.
it's a change of Your Honor, this again is a change of charge. It was reset from what I've been told last week for his attorney to be here, Larry Wolk. What I can tell the court is, if I may, Your Honor, it should say on your findings what the case number is.
Yes, I have that.
Could I ask what the case number is? I don't have my paperwork.
Okay, it's 17-004220 CF10A.
Mr. Braddock was already arraigned by Judge Scheer on May 11th. He had his first appearance before Judge Hurley on April 12th, and on this charge, could someone, thank you. Originally 2 counts of aggravated battery on a pregnant victim. One was changed to tampering with the victim. Set at $15,000 and $5,000. I would just ask that this bond be reset to $5,000 since he's already been arraigned. There's no evidence that Judge Scheer heard a bond hearing or changed the bonds, and that way, if there is any issues, obviously Judge Scheer should be the one to determine any bond changes.
Okay, understood. The public defender.
My only
retired?
concern is I don't know if Mr. Braddock has retained Mr. Wolk on this particular charge.
Okay, do you have a private attorney in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the court is going to leave your bond set at $5,000 on this charge.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome, sir. Giordani Dahl.
Your Honor, I guess there was, Judge Hurley also originally said pre-trial with GPS. We're just asking, and it's already on the other count. We're just asking it to stay with this count also.
Okay, the court is going to keep the original order from Judge Hurley.
Saying it's supposed to be 20,000.
But that's on the other count also, the GPS monitor.
It was already set on the other count. That's filed as charged.
Okay, so we'll leave it as it was set. Yes. Okay.
The bell is a medical reset.
On Giordani Dahel?
Yep, medical reset.
Okay, we'll reset him for tomorrow. Nixon Ward?
Still medical.
Been advised he's on medical load?
Okay, we'll reset him for tomorrow. Luis Alfredo Velasquez.
Mr. Velasquez is here present at Maine, Coach. Come on up, sir.
Hello, Mr. Velasquez.
Good morning.
You're here on an out-of-county hold. You will be transferred. Let's see, what other state is he going to? Dakota County. Okay, you're going to be brought to the other states. You have a no bond hold at this point in time.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Yes.
To Braddock back, I gave the court the wrong amount. Now instead of the bond, where Judge Hurley set it at $20,000, it's $10,000. So what should have been ordered was to change the bond, put the bond at $15,000. What happened, Your Honor, was he was arrested on the same counts, the same charges. One was 15, one was 5. We filed one of them as a tampering.
Right.
So I couldn't tell at first which the change of charge was in a because Judge Hurley set the bonds at 15,000, 5,000. I didn't know which one was changed, the 15,000 or the 5,000. The way it's put in the system, I gave the court the 5,000 one when it was the $15,000 bond that was changed.
Okay. The court's going to leave it at 5,000.
Okay.
All right. Kelly Ann Givens.
Not for hours, Your Honor.
Thank you. Hi, Ms. Givens.
Hi.
Ms. Givens, you're here on 3 municipal ordinance violations. The court finds probable cause. You have a $25 bond. If you'd like to resolve your case, the court will offer you an adjudication and time served on each of the counts.
Okay. I'll take that.
How do you play?
No contest?
Okay, the court's going to accept your plea of no contest. The court's going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to time served on each of the charges, and you'll be released, Ms. Gibbons.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me? Court costs on count 1, waive the costs on counts 2 and 3, please. Okay, Brittany King.
Ms. King is present here at Maine. She's approaching. Come on up, Ms. King.
Thank you.
Judge, and speaking of Ms. King, she advised me that her sister will be posting her bond.
Oh, okay. Ms. King, you do have a $100 bond. The court finds probable cause, and I understand your sister is in the process of posting your bond. Okay. Good luck. Antavia Latrice Samuels.
North Broward.
Hi, Miss Samuels.
How are you doing?
Well, you're here on a capias on a no valid license charge. There is a $500 bond. Would you like to resolve your case possibly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Could the state make an offer on Miss Samuels? Do you have a driving record?
Looks like this would be a first. She has her privileges are suspended. She just has an ID card. State's offer we withhold court costs, judicial notice, time served.
All right. Miss Samuels, if you'd like to resolve your case, the offer is a withholding court cost. That's not even a criminal conviction.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you play?
No contest.
The court's going to accept your plea of no contest. The court's going to withhold adjudication, impose court costs, and the court will take judicial notice of the time that you have served. You're all set. You'll be released.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sarah Danielle Kelly. Okay. Ms. Kelly, you are here on 2 capiases. One is a state charge for disorderly conduct. The second one is a municipal violation for sleeping in public. Would you like to resolve your case?
Yes.
Okay. Could the state make an offer on count 1, the disorderly conduct?
Yeah, sure. I will.
I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty hearing you.
I think this should be reviewed before any kind of offer is made or any resolution.
It should be what?
Reviewed. The PC should be looked at.
Do you have the PC
I'm reading
affidavit?
that right now.
Okay.
Look at this.
All right, hold on one moment, Miss Kelly. Thank you, Mr. Linder. Okay.
I was thinking, I thought Judge Lerner Wren might be a better option at this point.
Okay. Does the public defender have any objection?
Brian?
Does the public defender have any objection to sending the case to Judge Lerner Wren? The allegations in the police report is that she was outside yelling that she was ISIS and she would blow up the neighborhood.
I understand, Judge. No, that would be fine, Judge, at this time. The only thing then I would ask you to do, my understanding is on count 2, it's a municipal ordinance out of, I believe, Hollywood. Would you appoint Stephen Shade on the case? And on count 1, disorderly conduct. I just have to make the request from Ms. Kelly's behalf. Would you consider an R1 in that case?
According to the allegations that are contained in the complaint affidavit, if they were true, I'm not going to ROR her. Bond is going to be, it's going to remain at $350, and I will appoint Attorney Stephen Shate on the municipal violation. All right, good luck, Ms. Kelly. She does have a court date June 5th. Tashel Kadeen Kelly. Oh, and I'm sorry, on the last Miss Kelly, we're going to send her down to Judge Lerner Wren, or set the case with Judge Lerner Wren. Okay, are you Tashel Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, Ms. Kelly, you're here on 2 cases. One is resisting without violence, and the other is sleeping in the public. Did the state make an offer on count 1 for Ms. Kelly? She wants to resolve the case.
Yes, Your Honor, 1 moment.
You want to resolve your case, Ms. Kelly?
Oh, yes.
Okay, we'll find out if we can make an offer for you.
See if she has any priors. I see no priors, Your Honor. If she wants to resolve the state's offer, be withhold court costs, judicial notice time served.
All right, so Ms. Kelly, the offer on each of the charges, the state's offer is a withhold and court costs, and the court will make you the same offer on the municipal violation of a withhold and court costs.
But she's saying that to me? Correct. Can you repeat that? I didn't quite.
The offer is a withhold and court costs on each of your cases. It's not a criminal conviction.
Oh, okay.
You want to resolve your cases?
Yes.
Okay. How do you play?
Okay, so it's no contest?
You can either play no contest or guilty. The judge is asking if you want to resolve your case.
Yes, I wanted, so if I resolve my case, I would say no contest, right?
That's one of the options you have, correct. Or you don't have to resolve it today. You can have your day in court. It's up to you. If you want to resolve it, you can say no contest. If you don't want to resolve it, the
contest, what would be the what would it lead up to? I'm trying to say, I want to know before I say something what exactly it means, because I don't know that term and I need to know.
Ms. Kelly, let me explain to you. No contest means you're not admitting guilt, you're not denying guilt. You're taking a plea because you feel it's in your best interest. If you pled guilty, it means that you're admitting guilt. If you plead guilty or no contest, your case will be resolved. You have two cases. Your cases would be resolved and you would be released. And the sentence is a withhold adjudication, and you would pay the court costs. And your case would be over.
Okay. So I guess no contest.
Okay. The court's going to accept your plea of no contest on each of your cases. The court's going to withhold adjudication, impose court costs on each case, and take judicial notice of the time that you have served, and you will be released. You're all set. Dana Conwell. Okay, Ms. Conwell, you're here on two felony capiases. You have bonds set in the amount of $2,000. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Attila Kennedy.
It's a North Broward medical reset, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll reset Mr. Kennedy for tomorrow. Jessica Wilds. Hello, Ms. Wilds. Ms. Wilds, you're here on a felony retail theft charge. The court does find probable cause. You have bond set at $1,000.
Your Honor, Ms. Wild indicated to me that she's been living here in South Florida for all of her life. She has been working at the same job in a business called construction cleaning. She's had that job for 3 years. She has family members here locally, including her mother and her grandmother. She's been in contact with her family. She's hoping that they'll be able to bond her out, or if not, perhaps her fiancé may be able to do it. She's been living in the same residence with her grandmother for the last 5 years, and she indicated to me, well, she also has 5 children ranging in age from 16 to 2 years old. She's indicated to me that her prior criminal history consists of, I believe, some traffic infractions and perhaps a suspended license charge. Maybe the state can confirm that for us. But in light of her ties to the community, Judge, I'd ask you to consider releasing her on pretrial release.
Your Honor, Ms. Wild indicated to the trial interviewer that she resides in Tampa.
Okay. Ms. Wild, do you have a local address, or do you live in Tampa?
I live in Tampa.
Okay. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to release you to pretrial. You have to live in the Tri-County area for pretrial. So, State, does she have any priors?
I do have family that I could try to call that stays around here.
Okay. Well, you would have to live down here for the
Okay.
pending of your case. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Her priors include 2012. She was arrested for failing to deliver personal property during the pendency of that case.
Yeah, that one was dropped. I paid it off.
Hold on.
Hang
Hold on.
Jessica,
Someone's
hang on.
speaking.
In 2013, she was arrested for battery, victim over 65, and possession of marijuana. She failed to appear during the pendency of that case, and that too, the battery was dropped, and the possession of marijuana. It does appear that Ms. Wild went through a pretrial diversion program.
And that's what I was going to say. She failed to appear on state, then the prior arrest, it does appear she has issues showing up in court.
All right. Ms. Wild, the court has heard your argument. The court's leaving bond set in the amount of $1,000. Good
Your Honor,
luck.
I'd be asking the court to sign an order granting Ms. Wild access to her phone so she can get some phone numbers and make some phone calls to get herself out.
Your request is granted.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Ashley Yulhorn.
That's no problem, Your Honor.
Okay. Hello, Miss Yulhorn. You are here on a battery of law enforcement officer. The court does find probable cause. And hold on one second here. Okay, the court is going to set bond in the amount of $1,500.
Your Honor, I was in the process of speaking with Miss Yulhorn when the court took the bench. From my recollection of the probable cause affidavit, it appears as though the battery on the law enforcement officer is that she threw a can of beer at him. Which I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but it's not. She didn't throw a punch or kick him or anything like that. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to get into Miss Woolhorn's ties to the community. If the court would consider inquiring or allow me to inquire as to how long she's been living here and so forth, that maybe a lower bond than the one the court just set would be appropriate.
I'll allow you to inquire.
Miss Woolhorn, how long have you lived here in South Florida?
About 5 years.
And do you have friends and family that live here in the area?
My family is up east.
If you were released from jail, who would you be staying with?
I was actually planning on going up further east.
What's further east?
I was looking into Tennessee. I was looking into places and
Would you be able to? Is there a place here locally where you could stay?
yes,
Where can you stay?
it's in South Beach.
So you could stay in Dade County?
I'm not 100% sure, but I haven't spoken with anybody since I've been here, sir.
Okay.
Informed our pretrial interviewer that she had no verifiable address.
Okay. Are you working?
I'm not.
Going to school?
I'm not.
How much bond do you think you can make, Miss Olhorn?
I'm not going to be able to make a bond at this point in time.
All right.
Indiana, Maryland, and Delaware.
What was the resolution of those trespass cases?
Trespass cases, she got withholds on.
All right, Miss Yulhorn, considering your criminal history and the allegations that are in this police report, the court is leaving bond set at $1,500. The court's ordering no contact with the alleged victim. Kristen Gleason. Kristen Gleason.
Yes.
Hold on. North Broward. Okay, very good. All right, Ms. Gleason, thank you. You're here on a possession of cocaine, possession of heroin, a drug paraphernalia, and an open container. The court does find probable cause. You have bond set in the amount of $2,125. And State, does she have any priors?
I'll check, Your Honor. Also noticing, according to the booking sheet, she's at large.
Speaking with the pretrial interviewer, she informed us that she had no verifiable.
All right, Miss Gleason, you have bond set at $2,125. Good luck. Crystal Rollo. Hello, Miss Rollo. You are being held on a felony capias. There is a no bond hold, but you are going to court on May 30th to address that case. Good luck. Tracy Walton. Hello, Ms. Walton. Ms. Walton, you're here on a possession of oxycodone charge, and you have a municipal violation for loitering. The court does find probable cause. You have bond set in the amount of $1,500.
Whoa. You told me grand.
What is number 2? What does it say?
It's scratched out.
It's 300. Okay, I'm sorry. My eyesight
Okay.
is not so good. I'm sorry. It's $1,300.
Judge, I did not get an opportunity to speak to Miss Walton before the court took the bench this morning to get ties to the community. If you'd give me a few moments to inquire.
Let me ask the State. Does she have priors?
2014.
Don't say anything right now, Miss Walton.
Okay, so recently there was a violation of probation on a battery.
Violation of probation on battery and the drug paraphernalia, and looks like that's all. Recently.
Okay. All right. Miss Walton, I am leaving bond set at $1,300. Good luck.
That's it?
That's it. Victoria Pino.
Ms. Pino is here present, Judge.
Hello, Miss Pino. Miss Pino, you're being held on a felony capias and a violation of probation. There's currently a no bond hold, but you are going to court on May 30th to address the case. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Fedna Jean-Francois.
Judge, I've been advised medical loan.
Okay, reset Miss Jean-Francois for tomorrow. Stefano Carnival.
Mr. Carnival coming up, please.
Mr. Carnival, you're here on a capias for an unlawful license tag. It's an ad charge. Could the state make an offer for Mr. Carnival?
Judge, I believe Mr. Carnival is being held no bond on a VOP.
Is he?
I think that's what I've been
Okay. Well, if you do have a violation of probation that's pending and you resolve this case, this would violate your probation. So you do have a $500 bond on this this charge.
Thanks, Judge.
All right. Good luck. Dwayne Castiglione.
Yes, sir. Castiglione, come on up. Judge,
Hello, sir.
He's asking or requesting your court if you would consider resolving the case today. But I don't know if that's his desire.
Okay. So you're here on a trespass charge. The court does find probable cause. And can the state make an offer to resolve his case?
The offer is going to be adjudication 10 days. This is his third arrest for trespassing since May 6th. And it appears that they've all been roughly in the same area, Your Honor.
Oh, you said the third arrest since May 6th?
Yes, his most recent, he just he pled out a trespassing right near where this occurred, and he got time served, was released May 17th.
All right. So, Mr. Castiglione, if you'd like to resolve your case, the offer is an adjudication, 10 days in jail.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So your bond is $100.
Thank you, Judge.
John Sloan.
Good morning, Judge. I'm Jara McLaurin. I'm here from the City of Fort Lauderdale Public Defender's Office, Municipal
Hello.
Ordinance Public Defender's Office.
Hello, Mr. McLawrence.
All right, good morning. Mr. Sloan is a medical reset, Your Honor. We also have another case on page 13 of the docket. Judge,
Okay,
if you
we'll
could call
reset Mr. Sloan for tomorrow. What is your next case?
It's Anthony Myers. He's in the main jail. He's on page 13 of the docket.
Okay, hold on. Let me get him.
Sir Myers is approaching, Judge.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. What's Mr. Myers' first name?
Anthony.
Anthony.
Okay. I have another Myers. Oh, Anthony Lee Myers. Okay.
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
Very good. So you're here on a capias for a petty theft charge.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you? Oh, it's an MO. Would your client like to resolve the
Yes,
case?
Judge, he would. And just so the court is aware, this is a petty theft out of the Walmart at 2500 West Broward Boulevard.
Okay.
And items were recovered, and Mr. Myers is homeless, Judge, so even if you issued notice to him, he wouldn't get the notice, so that's why he missed court. But
Okay.
I spoke with him this morning, and he expressed that he does want to resolve it. He would, in exchange for a withhold and judicial notice of time served, Judge, he's willing to plead no contest.
Okay. State. What kind of priors does Mr. Myers have?
No. I don't. It's a capias. No, this isn't his. This is someone else.
Oh, my bad. Judge, Judge, do you have his BCCI number on your booking sheet?
Yes. It is 771442.
He last July of 2016, he had a theft. Is this a 2016 case? Yes. Okay, that was his original case. And other than that, I'm showing 2010 caveats on, he had a municipal ordinance for sleeping in public, and I don't know if it's on a beach or, where they got
Okay. The court will offer a withholding court costs
Thank you, Judge.
if you'd like to resolve the case. Mr. Myers, how do you play?
For that stereo,
It's
guilty. I'd like to resolve though.
okay. We're going to resolve your case. The court's going to accept your plea of guilty. The court's going to withhold adjudication, impose costs, and take judicial notice of the time that you've served. And your case is over.
I be led believe today.
Yes, you will.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Have a good day. Yep.
No, Anthony Myers. Judge, I had presented some orders that we need to have signed for the city.
Okay. And anything else?
That's it, Judge. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anthony Roman.
Mr. Roman's here present, Judge? And me?
Okay, Mr. Roman, you're here on a violation of probation for a DUI. You have bond set at $2,000, and you do have a court date on May 31st if you can't bond out.
Okay.
All right, good luck. Javaris Kaysen.
1:30 p.m. That's 6 days.
Hello, Mr. Kaysen.
Good morning.
Mr. Kaysen, you're here on a violation of probation warrant. There's no bond hold, but you are going to be brought to court to address this violation. Good luck.
When's his court date, Judge?
Excuse me? I don't have a court date as of yet. It's in the process of being set. Leonardo Godinez.
Judge, Mr. Gonzalez, is your present Maine. He's going to require a Spanish interpreter.
Okay, can we call for a Spanish interpreter, please?
Toma asiento, por favor.
Okay, let's put him on reset. Peter Arnold.
I'm sorry, just so we don't have an interpreter coming back and forth. I was told the case that we the vehicular homicide was reset for 10. So
Right.
They're going to need a Spanish interpreter. And Tanya, did Mr. De La Fero mention to you that we were going to need an interpreter, Spanish interpreter at 10 o'clock? So I don't know if maybe you want to just reset that case for 10 o'clock so we can just deal with them, any cases with Spanish interpreter at one time.
All right, so let me have Mr. Godinez. We're going to take his case at 10 o'clock. We have the Spanish interpreter coming for another case at that time. Peter Arnold. Peter Arnold. I can't hear any sound. Yes?
Judge, he's here, but I believe he's in back, and there might be some issues, Judge.
Okay, well,
mental health issues.
we'll put him on recall. Richard Lowers.
Richard Lewis, no power, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Mr. Lowers. Where's Mr. Lowers?
Mr. Lowers is deaf. We have, I spoke to the interpreter's office. They can have a signing interpreter here by 10:30.
Okay, so let's put him on at 10:30. We'll have an interpreter for him.
Excellent.
Okay. James Allen Bonin.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Bonin, you're here on a petty theft charge. The court does find probable cause. Would you like to resolve your case?
Yes, ma'am, I would, please, ma'am.
All right. Make an offer for Mr. Bonin.
Mr. Bonham's priors include murder in the second degree and grand theft, possession of cocaine, dealing with stolen property, perjury, possession of cocaine, battery on a law enforcement officer.
All right, Mr. Bonin, if you'd like to resolve your case, the offer is an adjudication and 15 days in jail.
I would like to have played no contest, man.
Okay. The court is going to accept your plea of no contest. The court's going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 15 days in the Broward County Jail, and will give you credit for whatever time that you've already served.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too. Wayne Lee Golden.
Mr. Golden's approaching judge. This is a municipal ordinance case.
Okay. Mr. Golden, you're here on a municipal violation on an open container charge. Do you want to resolve your case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Tell me his priors.
I just need his BCCN number, Judge.
866796.
He was arrested 3 days ago on May 20th, or 4 days ago, for trespass on 15 North Federal Highway. Pled that out for time served over the weekend. April 5th of this year, capiouses for carrying open container and trespass. He pled those out. Last October, it looks like another open container and solicitation. June of last year, he was arrested.
All right. Mr. Golden, if you'd like to resolve your case, the court will offer you an adjudication and 5 days in jail.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you play?
No contest.
The court's going to accept your plea of no contest. The court's going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Broward County Jail, and will give you credit for the time that you've already spent. You're all set. John Kristen Kelgard.
Kelgard is here approaching judge. These are two municipal ordinance cases.
Okay. Mr. Kelgard, you're here on 2 capiouses for open containers. You want to resolve your cases?
Yes, ma'am. But I've already been punished for this years ago. I showed the police officer my driver's license, and I got arrested last night.
Okay. Well, you have two missed court dates from last year. State what kind of
I never received those notices.
what kind of priors does Mr. Kelgard have? His BCCN number is 868945.
Outside of Broward.
I put the 25th
See a
down.
battery in 2010 out of Lee County.
All right. If you'd like to resolve each of your cases, the court will offer you an adjudication and time served on each of your cases.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
How do you play?
No contest.
Okay, the court's going to accept your plea of no contest. Court's going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to time served on each of your cases. And your cases are resolved. You'll be released.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
He'll be here.
John Allen Myers.
I don't
I put down a date of the 25th on some of the orders. I think on the mental health transfer. Let me change it if I can. Hello, Mr. Myers.
Good morning.
Mr. Myers, you're here on a misuse of a 911 system. The court finds probable cause. You have bond set at $100. Is this a case that could be resolved?
Honestly, Judge, I'm really not comfortable making a resolution in this case. Upon reviewing, I actually consider this to be a lot more serious than what's charged, only considering what could have happened, considering that police were called to respond to a home where they thought in their mind there could be an armed burglar. This person, something really bad could have happened here.
Okay. All right, Mr. Myers, the court's not going to resolve your case today. You do have bond set at $100.
I'll do a self.
He's getting self-bond.
Okay. Renee Hernandez.
Judge, Mr. Mediterranean is going to require a Spanish interpreter.
Okay, let's put him on recall for 10 a.m.
Toma asiento, por favor.
Alfred Thurman.
Mr. Thurman's here present, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Thurman, you're here on a case on a trespass charge.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to resolve your case?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. State, what kind of priors does he have? His number is 144202.
144202.
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm showing an arrest April 5th of this year. That was for, looks like he's out on ROR for possession of cocaine and resisting without violence. He pled out capiouses for lodging on city-owned property, trespass, and pled out a false ID to law enforcement. Prior to that, he was arrested in March of this year. That was on the original false ID that he pled out in the case I just mentioned. Then January 2016, that was on a possession of PVP that he pled out. January 15th of January 2016. This is November. I don't know if you need to hear anything else. November 2015.
All right, Mr. Thurman, if you'd like to resolve your case, the court will offer you an adjudication and time served.
Yes, ma'am, I agree with that, ma'am.
How do you play?
No contest.
The court's going to accept your plea of no contest. The court's going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to time served. You're all set. Christopher Dubois.
Judge, I've been advised medical loan.
Okay, we'll reset him for tomorrow. Jose Edwin Perez Galarza.
Mr. Perez Galarza is here present, Judge Amin.
Okay, hello, Mr. Perez Galarza. You are here on 3 capiouses. They're all for possession of alcohol, or 2 of them are for possession of alcohol by a minor and resisting without violence. Is this a case that could be resolved today, State?
See if he has priors.
Okay.
I'll make an offer.
All right. Do you want to resolve? You have 2 cases. You want to resolve those cases today?
Yeah. Let the judge know that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're going to find out State's offer.
I'm showing, and I'll confirm this in Odyssey, he was in a diversion program on this. I mean, while it's likely he will not be in it anymore, certainly if he pleads out the case, it's off the table, so.
Okay, so Mr. Perez Galarza, I've been advised that you were in the diversion program, which, if you completed the program successfully, the case would have been dismissed.
He was unsuccessfully terminated, so I'll make an offer, Your Honor.
Okay.
On April 25th. The offer, he has no priors. The offer be withhold court cost judicial notice, time served on all of them.
All right, Mr. Perez Galarza, if you'd like to resolve your cases today, the offer is a withhold and court costs on each of the cases. How do you play? Okay, the court's going to accept your plea of no contest. The court's going to withhold adjudication, impose court costs on each of the 2 cases. The court's going to take judicial notice of the time that you have served, and you're all set. You'll be released. Tecoyo Costas.
Mr. Custis is here present, Judge Amin.
Mr. Costas, you're here on a capious on a driving with suspended license charge. You do have a $500 bond. You want to resolve your case?
Yes, possibly.
All right, let me take a look if I have your driving record. Okay, here we go. Okay, the problem is, let's see. He would lose his license for 5 years if he resolved his case. We're not going to resolve your case today. You have 2 prior convictions for a suspended license within the last 5 years. So bond is going to be kept at $500, and you could go to court.
Judge, the only request then the defense will be making, Judge, is if you could sign an order allowing him access to his phone to access his contacts.
Your request is granted.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jonathan Breeden Marion.
Mr. Marion, come on up, please.
Hello, Mr. Marion. You're here on cases for 3 different cases, and they're all suspended license charges. The court's not able to resolve your cases today because of a 5-year revocation. If you resolved your case, however, there's a $250 bond on one capias, and there's a no bond hold on your 2 other cases. You are going to court on May 26th to address your cases. Kyle Douglas Griffin.
Mr. Griffin's here present.
Hello, Deputy. And what's your name?
It's going to be detective here as well.
Okay. Mr. Griffin, you're here on a false ownership of information for pawn items and dealing in stolen property. The court does find probable cause. And do you wish to be heard, Detective?
Yes, ma'am, I would. Mr. Griffin, we've been dealing with Mr. Griffin for several months. I talked to Mr. Griffin yesterday at the main jail and our main jail. It's no surprise that he knows that I'm here speaking with you and speaking to the courts. We've been dealing with him breaking into cars and taking property out of cars in North Lauderdale. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have other cases, one right now that's being reviewed by the state attorney's office right now. What we'd like to see, it's no surprise, Kyle. We spoke about this yesterday. It's a burglary of a conveyance right around the corner from your house. So what we'd like to see is either his bond increased, because he is entitled to a bond. We understand his bond increased, or some sort of revocation of his of the bond right now, because he's already out on 2 of the cases or 2 of the charges. This was a third, and I'm sorry, this is a 4th, because there was another burglary that was committed while he was out on the other 2 bonds. So he was out on 2 bonds from Brandy Bond. He committed a 3rd burglary conveyance, and then I got the prints back on the original burglary, which identified Mr. Griffin in that case in dealing and false ownership. And then now there's the false ownership, the 2nd arrest that we made, that burglary came through. As far as Mr. Griffin, he confessed to that already. So we've got multiple cases with Mr. Griffin involving burglary conveyances, multiple conveyances in one case, and then dealing in stolen property and false ownership to a pawnbroker.
Okay, well, thank you for advising the court. It appears that these 2 charges are add charges to a case that he already has.
Correct.
Your Honor may recall, he appeared before you Monday morning. His fiancée or girlfriend and mother was here. It was a burglary. You set the bond at $10,000 plus pretrial release of the GPS. I had advised the court he has a case of multiple pending burglaries, another pending case.
Yes, I do recall. Okay, so Mr. Does the public defender wish to be heard?
Yes, Judge. Not in reference to PC, I don't know if my colleague has any sort of argument. But at this time, Judge, in speaking Mr. Griffin, he's been residing here his whole life. He's 30 years old. He's not employed at this time. He's looking for work. He believes he may have an opportunity to work at a place called 212 Dental and Customer Service. He lives in North Lauderdale. Him and his mother reside together in an apartment. He's currently in custody right now on a $10,000 bond. Judge, he's still in custody, so financially he can't even afford the bond that he's currently in on right now. He has no money in the bank, no property. Judge, I'd also ask you to disregard as far as some of the statements made by the detective as far as potential any other matters that's not here before you that are not part of Mr. Griffin's prior. Those, if they are ever filed or he's arrested on them, on that day would be the appropriate day. So as far as those other matters that the detectives were mentioning, I would ask you to not disregard that. Second, I believe what the state or what the officer was trying to ask the judge, Your Honor, is to revoke his release conditions on an open case. The officer in the defense's position is basically an arm of the state, so that's just as good as the state making that request. I believe at this time that request would be unlawful because the defense is entitled to notice. So I'd ask you to disregard the officer's request as far as revoking any sort of bond on his current cases that out on. Having said that, Judge, we'd ask you to leave the standard bond in place.
Okay. Now, advise the court how many cases he has pending.
Your Honor, he has, I can tell you he has one case where there are 4 filed charges of burglary of a conveyance and 2 counts of criminal use of personal identification information. That case, and then he has a second case that he was arrested on. One moment, Judge. Sorry, a second case for dealing in stolen property, false ownership info on a pawn item, and burglary of an unoccupied conveyance.
That's what we're here for.
No. That's
That's another case?
Filed case.
Same 3 charges.
That's case number 17-5, just so the court's aware, 17-5141 CF10A. All these charges are under 17-5971 CF10A.
All right. It does appear that Mr. Griffith has multiple pending cases. The court is not going to rule on a motion to revoke bond on his prior cases at this point in time. And I would ask the state that if you intend to go forward on that kind of motion, to file it in the trial division.
That's fine, Your Honor. I just want to make a record. The state, despite counsel's argument, the state has not moved to revoke. The detective is not an attorney, he's free to say what he would like the court to do, but his mention does not count as the state filing a motion. So
Right, I understand that. I know the court can revoke his bond sua sponte. I'm not going to do that at this point in time. As far as the ad charges on the false ownership, due to the nature of the allegations and his other pending actions, the court is going to increase bond to $5,000, and in dealing in the stolen property, the court's going to increase bond to $5,000.
The only other thing we ask is, since you placed him, should he post bond on the burglary that you heard on Monday, he would be on pretrial with GPS. We would just ask that condition apply to these 2 charges as well.
Absolutely. The condition of the ankle bracelet will apply to these 2 ad charges. Okay.
Judge, and at this time, we'd be invoking Mr. Griffin's right to remain silent and not be questioned by law enforcement without counsel present. And I am putting officer on notice.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day, Detective. John Jacob Volman. John Jacob Volman.
Mr. Volman is coming up, Judge. You can find the public defense.
All right, Mr. Volman, you're here on a violation of probation. There's a no bond hold. However, you are going to court on May 31st to address that case. Good luck. Noel Rodriguez.
Mr. Noel Rodriguez, come on up. English, Spanish, both? Spanish? Judge, we're going to require a Spanish interpreter from Mr. Rodriguez.
We have the Spanish interpreter present, so let's bring our Spanish interpreter up. Good timing. Mr. Interpreter, can you raise your right hand? You swear or affirm to translate to English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do. Martin Guido, the IDAUD Court Interpreters.
Okay, very good. Mr. Rodriguez, you're here on a violation of probation warrant.
Señor Rodríguez, usted está aquí por haber quebrantado su libertad probatoria y una orden de arresto que surgió de lo mismo.
And you have a warrant on a bond surrender.
Y se tiene una orden de arresto sobre una fianza que fue liberada.
You do have bonds set in both of those matters. The total amount is $3,500.
En ambos temas tiene una fianza que ya ha sido fijada. La cifra total son $3,500.
And you do have a court date on June 1st at 10 a.m. on the violation of probation.
Y tiene una fecha el tribunal del 1 de junio a las 10 de la mañana por haber quebrantado su libertad probatoria.
Good luck.
Buena suerte.
Okay, Renee Hernandez. It's a Spanish. Yes, we're going to bring up the other Spanish inmates. Okay, Mr. Hernandez, you're here on a no valid license arrest.
De acuerdo, señor Hernández. Usted está aquí porque fue arrestado por no tener licencia válida.
I'm going to see if we could resolve your case today, if you'd like to.
Veamos si podemos resolver el caso suyo hoy, si así desea.
If you don't want to, bond is set at $25.
Si no desea, su fianza ha sido fijada a $25.
Oh, okay.
Pagará su
All right,
propia
very
fianza,
good. Good
pues.
luck.
De acuerdo, muy bien. Buena suerte. Gracias, pues.
What page was he on by any chance?
13.
I found it. Thank you.
Okay, then I have Leonardo Godinez.
Senor Gordinez?
Okay, Mr. Godinez, you're here on a no valid license arrest and a driving the wrong lane ticket.
De acuerdo, señor Godínez. Usted está aquí por un arresto de no tener licencia válida de conducir y por haber conducido en la vía equivocada.
You have bond set at $25. The court finds probable cause.
Su fianza ha sido fijada a $25 y el juez falla de que hay fundamento de hechos para el arresto.
Would you like to resolve your case today?
¿Desea usted resolver su caso hoy?
Judge, respectfully, I'm speaking Mr. Godinez. At this time, after he's not going to be resolving his case. We'd be asking you to consider an ROR on his behalf.
Su señoría, respetuosamente digo que después de haber hablado con el señor Godínez, no vamos a estar resolviendo el caso hoy y le pedimos que si puede considerar una fianza de dejarle salir bajo palabra de juramento.
He's 19 years old. He's been residing here in South Florida for 3 years now.
Tiene 19 años y lleva residiendo 3 años aquí en el sur de la Florida.
He's currently working. He works at a car wash. He makes approximately $80 per day.
Actualmente trabaja donde lavan los carros y gana como $80 al día.
He lives in Hollywood. Him and his father have been renting the same apartment for a year and a half.
Vive en Hollywood y él junto con su padre llevan rentando 1 año y medio el mismo apartamento.
Judge, my understanding is he has no prior offenses.
Entiendo, juez, que él no tiene antecedentes penales.
Considering this is a nonviolent charge, he has no prior offenses. He's been residing here for 3 years. I'd ask you to consider an ROR.
Y al considerar de que no tiene antecedentes penales, que lleva residiendo aquí 3 años, que le pido que considere que le deje salir bajo palabra de juramento.
State, does he have any priors?
There's nothing in the system, but it's there's no way to know for sure because he has no type of Florida ID.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I do see that he has absolutely no driving record, so he doesn't have any prior traffic criminal from what I could see.
Veo que no tiene antecedentes en cuanto a conducir, no tiene historial de conducir.
The court is going to ROR him.
Este juez le va a permitir salir bajo palabra de juramento.
Thank you very much, Judge.
You're welcome. Okay, is there anyone else that we need the Spanish interpreter for?
Español. ¿Alguien más? Yes, Judge. There's one gentleman raising his hand. ¿Qué es tu nombre? Juan Carlos Calero. Calero. Page 22, Judge Dorsey. End of the document.
Thank you.
Oh, no, Your Honor, that's the case. We have attorneys that are going to be here at 10 o'clock.
Okay, wait, did I take that case? Hold on, let me just get that case here. The last name is Carnero? Calero.
I don't know if I heard Mr. Leonard correctly. He has private counsel?
Yes, Juan Calero?
Correct.
Okay, he does have private counsel who should be here any moment. He's scheduled to come in at 10 o'clock.
Tiene un abogado privado quien llegará aquí en cualquier momento a las 10.
So let's put him on a brief recall.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, any other Spanish?
¿Qué es tu nombre? Page 18, Judge, and he is, let me see here, so Fredo Merida? Page 18.
Okay. Last name is Meredith?
Merida.
Merida. Okay.
Towards like the middle. middle.
Okay, it's Mr. Silfredo Merida.
De acuerdo, señor Silfredo Mérida.
Mr. Merida, you're here on a battery charge and false imprisonment.
Señor Mérida, usted está aquí por un cargo de agresión y por encarcelamiento falso.
The court does find probable cause.
Este juez falla que hay fundamento de hechos.
The court, there's bond set at $1,000 on the battery,
Hay una fianza que ha sido fijada a $1,000 por el cargo de agresión
and the court is setting bond at $2,500 on the false imprisonment.
y el encarcelamiento falso, este juez va a fijar una fianza de $2,500.
The court is also entering a no contact order for Rebecca Zalo.
También este juez entabla una orden de alejamiento de no contacto con Rebecca
Zalo.
Zalo.
We would also request, this is Joshua Vitz for the state. The state would also request that GPS be attached to Mr. Silfredo Merida.
La fiscalía también pide de que se le ponga
The allegations in the probable cause affidavit.
un dispositivo de GPS al señor Mérida, dado las alegaciones que están en el documento acusatorio.
Judge, I'd ask if the state can verify if Mr. Merida has any priors.
State?
There's no priors that I can find in the state of Florida from Broward County.
Pide el abogado de la defensa si pueden mirar si hay antecedentes penales. La fiscalía responde que no parece haber ninguno en el sistema.
I understand the court's concerns, and that's why at this time I believe the state is recommending a total of $3,500 bond plus pretrial. My understanding is being Mr. Merida, he's currently employed, he makes $500 bi-weekly.
Entiendo las preocupaciones que tiene la fiscalía y por lo tanto se ha fijado la fianza de $3,500. El señor Mérida tiene empleo y gana como $500 cada 2 semanas.
He lives in Hialeah with his wife and daughter.
Vive en Hialeah con su mujer y su hija
Their monthly rent is about $1,600 per month.
y pagan como $1,600 de renta al mes.
As it is, it's going to be hard for Mr. Merida to come up with the $3,500 bond amount.
Tal como están las cosas, se le haría difícil al señor Mérida conseguir los $3,500 de fianza.
So what I would ask, Judge, is to leave, we're okay with the state's proposal of the $3,500 total bond, but we'd ask you not to impose pretrial.
Por lo tanto, nosotros estamos de acuerdo con la fianza que ha propuesto la fiscalía de $3,500, pero le pedimos que no imponga ninguno de las condiciones de servicios ante juicio.
Or any alternative, if Your Honor does wish to impose pretrial, then we would ask you to reduce the amount of the monetary bond on count 2 respectively.
O alternativamente, si el juez decide aplicar las condiciones de antejuicio, le pedimos que reduzca la fianza de los $3,500 respetuosamente.
Okay. The court is not going to impose the ankle monitor. I am going to leave bond set at $3,500.
Este juez no va a imponer las condiciones del monitoreo en tobillo y sí dejaré la fianza fija a los $3,500
And the no contact order.
y la orden de no tener contacto.
The state is going to object. One, it appears based on these allegations.
Y su señoría, para que conste en acta, la fiscalía va a estar en contra, ya que parece ser, basada en los alegatos,
Mr. Merida could have been charged or arrested for a much more serious offense.
el señor Merida pudo haber sido arrestado por delitos mucho más graves.
Additionally, the strength of the evidence, according to the report, Mr. Merida confessed to committing this offense.
Aparte, dado las fuerzas que tienen las pruebas, su integridad, ya que el señor Merida confesó haber cometido este delito.
And lastly, Your Honor, the reason I have great concern for the safety of the alleged victim is it appears, based on what I'm seeing here,
Y finalmente, su señoría, la razón por la cual tengo gran preocupación en cuanto a la seguridad de la supuesta víctima es que parece, al ver lo que tengo acá,
this occurred at the defendant's place of employment.
que esto sucedió en el lugar de empleo del acusado.
If the alleged victim has So it could certainly put her in harm's way.
Y si la víctima tiene motivo para estar ahí también, pues claramente esto le puede poner a ella en peligro de daño.
The court has entered a no contact order.
Este juez ha impuesto una orden de no tener contacto.
He must stay a minimum of 500 feet away from this alleged victim.
Él tiene que permanecer por lo menos a 500 pies de distancia de esta supuesta víctima.
And the court notes the state's objection for the record.
Y para las actas, el juez nota que la fiscalía ha impuesto una objeción.
Okay, thank you.
De acuerdo, gracias.
All right, do we have counsel here for Juan Calero? Oh, okay. All right, anyone else with the Spanish interpreter?
Español, otra persona español. No one else at main judge.
Okay,
Right.
counsel just stepped out, so we'll be right with you, Mr. Interpreter. Okay, Sheem McCreef? Okay, Mr. Moncrief, you are here on a violation of probation felony. There's a no bond hold, but you are going to court on May 30th. Good luck.
Thank you. At 9 a.m., sir. Good luck.
Okay, where'd our interpreter go? Did he just step out? Oh, no, there he is. Counsel, you here on Juan Calero?
I am, Judge.
All right, come on up. Okay, recall on Juan Calero.
Your attorney's present.
Okay, hello, Mr. Calero. Your attorney is present, and counsel, please state your name for the record.
Su abogado está presente y abogados, por favor, llamen sus comparecencias en las actas.
Good morning, Your Honor. Richard Della Fera on behalf of Mr. Calero.
Okay.
Michael Horowitz on behalf of the state judge.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Calero, you are here on 2 vehicular homicide charges and a reckless driving causing serious bodily injury.
Señor Calero, usted está aquí por 2 cargos de homicidio vehicular y un cargo de manejar con descuido causando daño corporal.
Okay, and state anything you wish to be say prior to the court setting bond?
Antes de fijar la fianza,
Anything the state wishes to say prior to the court setting bond?
Judge, I think the court should be aware of his prior record.
Hold on, he has a Spanish interpreter, so just speak slowly.
Okay. Muy bien.
It's more like algo que desea decir la fiscalía antes de que yo fije la fianza.
In 1996, he has an aggravated assault.
Él tiene un cargo de agresión agravada en 1996.
1996, he has a petty theft in which he violated his probation.
1996 tiene un cargo de hurto menor por el cual quebrantó su libertad probatoria.
Just give me the priors from the last 10 years, please.
Dígame los antecedentes solo los últimos 10
Judge, I'd like
años,
to put
por
them all
favor.
also because a lot of it is driving situations, which although typically I know isn't something the court would really give much weight, but the nature of this charge, I think the court should consider it.
Muchos de ellos, sus señorías, son cargos de conducir y yo sé que normalmente el tribunal no le haría mucho peso a eso, pero dado es la naturaleza de este cargo, yo creo que tiene su importancia.
And if I could interject, if there's a discussion of his prior history, because the state's in possession of something that I am not, what the disposition was.
Absolutely.
Because I think that that's important for the court to understand as
State,
well.
please advise the court of the disposition of each of his priors.
So if we go back to the night.
Great.
Y si hay hablas en cuanto a los antecedentes penales, quisiera yo saber cuál es la resolución, porque la fiscalía está en posesión de historiales que yo no tengo con.
He has a 1996, and April 15th, 1996, in case number F96 11667, aggravated assault and a violation of probation.
Tiene un
He
cargo.
was sentenced to probation on that case. He violated that probation.
Okay, let the Spanish interpreter interpret.
Tiene un cargo de. Del abril de 2015, en el caso F96-11667, por haber de agresión agravada, donde quebrantó su libertad probatoria.
Correction, just to correct the interpreter understood what he said. It wasn't 2015, it was April 15th, 1996.
Your Honor, the interpreter apologizes. He misread counsel's notes. El 15 de abril del 96, cargo de agresión agravada.
1996, he had a petty theft, which was a withheld adjudication.
Tuvo un cargo en 1996 de hurto menor por el cual se retuvo el fallo condenatorio.
He had a violation of probation on that case.
Y en ese caso tuvo una quebrantadura de libertad probatoria.
1997, he had a DUI, which he was convicted.
En 1997 tuvo un cargo de manejar bajo los efectos, bajo el cual fue condenado.
1998, he had a burglary, a battery, an assault, and criminal mischief charges. He was only charged arrest, and he was only charged with a criminal mischief.
En 1998 tuvo cargos de escalamiento de morada, de maldades delictivas y de agresión. Por ello solamente fue condenado por el cargo de maldades delictivas.
He was adjudicated guilty of the criminal mischief.
Maldades delictivas consiguió un cargo de fallo condenatorio.
1999, he had a driving while license suspended.
En 1999 tuvo un cargo de conducir con licencia suspendida,
He was convicted and adjudication was withheld.
por el cual fue condenado y se retuvo el fallo condenatorio.
In 2000, he had a careless driving with a crash with property damage.
En el 2000 tuvo un cargo de manejar con descuido con un choque que resultó daño a la propiedad.
In 2009, he was convicted of failure to secure a load, lights, improper color or side marker, commercial motor vehicle with unsafe equipment, tag obscured, and no stoplight.
En el 2009 fue condenado por falta de asegurar el cargo de un carro, por no tener la luz adecuada. Oh, sorry, the interpreter requests repetition of the charges of the last 2009.
2009 was failure to secure a load,
Fue falta de asegurar la carga,
lights improper color,
no tener las luces del color adecuado,
commercial motor vehicle with unsafe equipment,
un vehículo comercial que tenía equipo no seguro,
tag obscured,
de tener la placa semi-escondida
no stoplight.
y no haberse detenido en un semáforo.
2012, and Judge, again, I know, like I said earlier, that typically that's not something I point out, but it involved a commercial motor vehicle and very similar to the circumstances.
I understand.
Okay. 2012, he had a tag obscured,
En el 2012, y su señoría, yo sé que los cargos de conducir normalmente no tienen... No, yo entiendo. Tenía en el 2012 la placa recóndita,
failure to obey commercial motor vehicle rules,
falta de obedecer los reglamentos en cuanto a los vehículos comerciales
license not carried,
y no tener licencia encima.
and that was dismissed by the hearing officer.
Eso fue desestimado por el juez de primera comparecencia.
The next month, that was in April, in May of 2012, he had a case involving 2 counts of failure to obey commercial motor vehicle rules.
Eso fue en abril. En mayo del 2012 tuvo 2 cargos de falta de obedecer el reglamento de los vehículos comerciales.
And it was an adjudication was withheld on those.
En eso se retuvo el fallo condenatorio.
2014 in Dade County,
2014 en el condado de Dade
he was arrested for aggravated assault,
fue arrestado por agresión agravada,
criminal mischief,
maldades delictivas,
theft,
hurto,
and those charges were not filed.
y esos cargos no fueron entablados.
In April 28th, 2015,
28 de abril de 2015,
a month before this crash,
un mes antes de este choque,
he was charged with suspended commercial motor vehicle having a suspended commercial motor vehicle license for no insurance,
se le acusó de haber tenido una licencia comercial suspendida dado el hecho que no tenía seguro,
operating a tractor trailer with unsafe equipment.
de conducir un camión con equipo no seguro.
He pled to that case the same day that this crash occurred.
Él se declaró a esos cargos en el mismo día que sucedió este choque.
Other traffic infractions that he had in Dade County, which the disposition's unknown.
Hay otras infracciones que tuvo en el condado de Dade, cuya resolución es desconocida.
Okay, if you
Y quiero
don't know
prestar
the
objeción.
disposition, I don't want you to go any further.
Quiero prestar objeción al hecho de que la resolución es desconocida. De acuerdo, si no conoce usted la resolución del caso, no lo mencione.
As far as his license, it was suspended in 1997 for a DUI.
En cuanto a su licencia de conducir, fue suspendida en 1997 por un cargo de manejar bajo los efectos.
2014 for failure to file a medical certification for a commercial motor vehicle.
2014 por falta de archivar una certificación médica para un vehículo comercial.
2015, no insurance.
2015 no tener seguro.
And 2017 for no insurance.
Y 2017 por no tener seguro.
Okay, and all of those suspensions have been reinstated.
Correct.
De acuerdo, y todas esas suspensiones han sido restauradas. Correcto.
Okay, so
I'm sorry, go ahead.
let's talk about the current case that he's here on.
De acuerdo, hablemos sobre el caso actual por el cual él está aquí hoy.
What is the state's position as far as a bond?
¿Cuál es la posición de la fiscalía en cuanto a una fianza?
We'd ask, based on the nature of the charge
Basado en la naturaleza del cargo
and based on his prior record
y basado en sus antecedentes
and the potential penalties he's facing,
y las posibles penas que enfrenta.
in this case, he's looking at potentially 35 years in Florida State Prison.
En este caso está enfrentándose a 35 años posibles en la prisión estatal de la Florida.
Under the sentencing guidelines, he scores a minimum of 14 years Florida State Prison.
Bajo la tabla de guía de puntaje, él llega a un puntaje de hasta 14 años de mínimo en la prisión estatal de la Florida.
We would ask as to count one, $100,000.
Para el primer cargo pedimos $100,000.
Count two, $100,000.
En el segundo cargo, $100,000.
Count three, $75,000.
En el tercer cargo, $75,000.
Whatever financial bond the court sets, we'd ask as a special condition being pretrial release with an electronic monitor.
Cualquier condición pecuniaria que fije el tribunal, pedimos que también sea anexado con un monitoreo de antejuicio.
With no drugs or alcohol.
Sin el uso de drogas o alcohol.
Random testing.
Pruebas al azar.
And no driving.
Y que no conduzca.
And that the defendant forfeit any passport he has.
Y que el acusado entregue cualquier pasaporte que pueda tener.
And not apply for a new passport.
Y que no solicite nuevo pasaporte.
Okay, thank you.
De acuerdo, gracias.
And Mr. Delafino, let me hear from you.
Delafera, Your Honor.
I'm sorry,
Señor
Delafera.
Déjeme oír de su
It's been a while
parte.
since we've seen each other.
Perdóneme, ha sido un tiempo desde que nos vimos la última
Your
vez.
Honor, a couple of things that I wanted to point out is that this was a tragic accident. Mr. Calero is charged with vehicular manslaughter. I guess we'll.
Señoría, eso fue un accidente trágico. Unas cosas que quiero señalar, se le acusó al caballero de homicidio no culposo vehicular.
And it's vehicular homicide. I misspoke. At any rate, the conduct that needs to be proven by the state to prove vehicular homicide is not one of intent, but is one of recklessness.
La conducta que tiene que ser comprobada por la fiscalía no es una de intención, sino de descuido.
So, I want to emphasize this was not an intentional act on the part of this defendant.
Quiero enfatizar de que esto no fue un acto intencional por parte de este acusado.
And clearly, when the accident happened, he submitted to a blood draw, and he was found to have no alcohol or any controlled substances in his system when the accident occurred.
Y claramente, cuando sucedió el accidente, él se sometió a una prueba de sangre y no se encontró ningún tipo de sustancia ilícita o regulada en su sistema cuando sucedió el accidente.
He cooperated with the investigating officers at the time of the accident.
En el momento del accidente, él cooperó con los oficiales que investigaban el caso.
He's currently a defendant in a civil lawsuit involving the families of the victims and of the victim that